Hello everyone, this is a very quick video on how to solve quadratic equations. And the first method that we're going to learn for solving these equations is by factoring. So here's your first example. If the equation were x squared plus 5x equals -6. So you're looking for a value of x that makes a statement true. A value of x that when you square it and you add 5 times its value, you get -6. A couple important things. Number one, every quadratic equation, let's say 90%, let's not say every, 90% of the time, you're going to want to set quadratic equations equal to 0. So if you want to say 100% of the time, go ahead. It won't hurt. Set quadratic equations equal to 0. All right. So that's the first thing that I did. To set it equal to 0, what I did is I added 6 to the left side. And now I've got x squared plus 5x plus 6 equals 0. Now you see your quadratic in standard form. Everything's together, ax squared plus bx plus c, and it's equal to 0. And what that's going to help you with is we already know how to turn standard form quadratic into factored form. So that was the purpose of setting it equal to 0. So once or half the purpose really. Now that I've got it in standard form, I'm going to factor. So that is x plus 2 times x plus 3. All right, that's why we did so much factoring practice. And essentially, here's what we have. We have two factors that when multiplied have a product of 0. So something times something else equals 0. Well, let's talk about the zero product property. That's important to note. If you have two factors whose product is 0, then one of the factors has to be 0. Think of it. Something times something else equals 0. Well, one of those two things has to be 0. One or both of them have to be 0. For example, 5 times 0 equals 0. Okay, so that's a zero product property. And what we do is we use the zero product property to find the two solutions, because we're going to think, okay, well, x plus 2 is a factor. Let's make that factor 0. To make that factor 0, we find the 0. We find the root of the factor. So x plus 2 equals 0. Tough equation. -2. -2 plus 2 would make that factor equal to 0. So essentially what I've done is this. X plus 2 equals 0, and I've solved for x. If you want to think of it as subtracting 2, that's fine. If you want to think of the additive inverse, that's fine. Either way, the answer is -2. All right? Then x plus 3, we're setting the factor of x plus 3 equal to 0. So if x plus 3 is equal to 0, the solution is x equals -3. Therefore, this quadratic equation has two solutions. All right? There are two numbers that make this equation true, and those are -2 and -3. Look at how simple that was. We, to recap, we set the quadratic equal to 0 by putting it in standard form. We factored the quadratic, and then all we did is we found the roots, right? And those roots happen to be the solutions. So we have yet another synonym right here. Root, 0, x-intercept, solution. Those are all related, kind of the same thing right there. And that should help you with today's practice on solving quadratic equations. Okay. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to verify that -2, for example, is a solution. So let's try it. -2 quantity squared. That's 4. Okay. 5 times -2. That's -10. Combine 4 and -10, you get -6. Works out. We had another solution, -3. -3 quantity squared. That's 9. Okay. 5 times -3. That's -15. Combine 9 and -15, you get -6. It works. Solving by factoring is very straightforward, and it works. I hope you guys enjoy it and do really well with it. I know you'll do very well with it.